What's happening, people? Today we've got a dribbling masterclass. I brought my boy, Eze. What's good? Good?
I'm blessed, brother. How are you, man?
I'm doing well, I'm doing well.
Good.
Decided to film on a nice, cold day, but it is what it is. For those of you watching, my man here is an excellent dribbler, and we're gonna get to the bottom of how and what he's thinking when he's dribbling. So before we even get to it, I wanna start with how you trained to have the skills and the technique that you do. What did you do growing up that gave you this skill?
I say I've always loved football, so I've been playing football from young. Obviously growing up playing in cages, playing on the street and stuff like that, you sort of learn how to problem solve, how to manipulate the ball. And I'd probably say that's where my love for dribbling comes from young, like on the streets, 5v5s, 2v2s, all this type of stuff. That's what's special.
That's what did it. Okay. So then once you got to the pro level, did they help you, refine that a little? Did you do what sort of drills daily, or did they just let you go free from what you'd learned?
Yeah, of course there's structure around it because you're always they want you to become a master of the ball, so you're always learning better ways and more efficient ways of how to manipulate the ball. But obviously, especially the way that I like to play, I'm very free and it's instinctual. It's not something that you can learn in that type of way. So there's different elements to it. But certainly a bit of both, a bit of structure, but also the freedom to be creative.
So as a winger, being able to express yourself on the ball is huge, right? Whether you're doing tons of step overs or just trying to get the guy that's getting that cross off. So now we're on the field. I want to talk more technique. As soon as you get the ball, or so let's look at that. Before you get the ball, what are the first things that you're thinking? Are you thinking about, I need to turn, where the space is, where the man is? Help me understand that.
Now, first thing I'm thinking of is where am I in relation to the goal?
Okay.
So understanding just orientation, knowing what way to turn, what way to look. And
how do you set up, just to break it in? The goal is here, behind us.
So if the goal's behind me, well, of course, it depends on where the ball is and where I'm trying to receive the ball from, but I'm always trying to see, okay, where's the route to the goal? Yeah. So if that means I need to open out this way, if it means whatever it is in relation to the goal. After that, it's then, as the ball's becoming closer, it's then your surroundings, like how much space am I actually in? Sure. Where's the nearest defender or someone that's going to actually come and press me? For me, that's then the next step. It's just understanding how much space I've got to work with.
Right.
And once I then receive the ball, then it's...
How much of that are you taking for your first touch? Like, how much planning goes into you're taking your first touch because you're thinking about going to the goal? You're generally thinking, if I can get my first touch forward?
Yeah. A lot of it is to do with your first touch because you want, especially with me, and again, it does depend on where you are on the pitch, but for me, my first touch, I want to then be able to do whatever it is I want to do. I want the first touch to be a setup for anything.
Sure.
So sometimes it's a first touch into space to then go and do that, but sometimes it's just having the ball with me and knowing that no one's able to take it off me. So
in watching your highlight video, I'm seeing tons and tons of people getting nutmegged. So I'm gonna need to you're gonna have to spill the little juice on how we can make that easy. How do you know? Because some of the times you don't see him, you maybe sense him, and it's still going through his legs. How are you doing that?
I just think that's just years of
He doesn't want to spill the secret.
No. I'll spill it. I think it's years of understanding how defenders defend and how people try to take the ball. So you know that if someone's diving in, they're sticking out a leg or that. So I don't need to see him, but I know what he's trying to do.
He's gonna come up and he's gonna plant like this, maybe.
I don't know what it is with the human body. It's just like
when you stop,
that's it.
Yeah,
there's no way to defend against it, and that's what I enjoy doing.
Yeah,
more than most things on the pitch.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. I mean, who doesn't, right? Then, so when you're receiving that pass, let's say you've turned up, you've squared up the defender, you know what's going on. I mean, sometimes you're gonna get into weird situations where you're where you're freezing like this.
Yeah, about that one.
I saw that. What was going through your head then? What were you thinking?
So, I've obviously known Joa for a long time, so I know he doesn't like to dive in. So I was just basically playing with him because he knows as well. He doesn't want to dive in. I was contemplating running past him, but I thought it'd be more fun to just
It's an iconic scene. It's gonna be one of those things people remember. But okay, you're faced with the defender. Now, normally, most players are told they need to build up speed. That may change, you give your momentum, stop, go. What are you first thinking once you've got the defender and he knows now it's on?
I'm trying to see where he doesn't want me to go. So if I can see he's showing me one way,
right, he doesn't want you to go there.
I'm gonna try it. I'm doing everything to get into that position.
Yeah.
Or to double bluff him and sell him to go. I'm gonna go whatever it is, but I'm just trying to destabilize him so that I can then do whatever it is I want to do.
Right. The last portion of this is, of course, you're finishing and putting the ball in the back of the net. So when you're in an attacking position, you know, are you always thinking, obviously if you're wide or this, it's once again still the goal to set myself up, you know, and once you're around, things have to be quick, fast. A lot of the young players don't understand how quick, right, high-level football really can be and how quick your decision-making has to be. Do you train that? What are you thinking about there?
Yeah,
what's going on?
That's something that's like an art that you have to train over years. The training that you do by yourself and maybe with mannequins and against 1v1s, it sets you up for the moment, because in that moment it's so quick. You've got a second or two to touch it, and you might have this much space to get your shot off. So the more you train that, the more you expose yourself to that, the easier that becomes. But it is for me, that's my thing, is finding that space and creating that space for myself. That's why I dribble.
Right.
The dribbling is to create the space to execute a shot or execute a final pass or
to have that opportunity.
What it's about, yeah.
Right. Last question. If you could go back and tell your 16-year-old self what to do as this journey that you've been on, what would you say to yourself? And also thinking about the people who are 16 now, just looking at you thinking everything you've done in the game is incredible. They'd love to do it. What would you say to yourself?
That's tough, man. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I would say you've got your strengths, you've got your weaknesses. Of course, you have to spend time on your weaknesses to improve them, but you've got something that can potentially become a superpower, whatever it is, whether it's dribbling, you're finishing, final pass, whatever it is, but becoming a master of that thing.
The thing that makes you unique.
Yeah. Of that one superpower, make that your thing and become a master at that. So, because that will set you apart from everyone else.
From everybody. That is great stuff, my friends. Train, Eze, appreciate all of that.
Appreciate
the knowledge.
Appreciate you, man.
Like, comment, subscribe. Guys, we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.